Hello. So today I'm gonna be talking about something called comfort zone, and to do that, I'll first talk about something called religion, basically focused on the people who lived many years ago and people who live today. So okay, when we talk about people who lived many years ago, people normally describe the differences in terms of technology and in terms of the technologies that they had and the technologies that we have. So, basically, in terms of technology, I would say that I don't really know whether they were more technologically advanced or we are more technologically advanced. So, people will always say that we are more technologically advanced, but there's still questions that we can answer. Very simple questions such as how they were able to move the stones of the pyramids that weigh tons and tons. So that's an argument for another time. So basically focused on religion, those people before they did anything, whether it was going to war, whether it was starting farming, whether it was moving from one place to another, whether it was trying to discover a continent, those people, what they did, they used to pray to a god. uh, right now, it doesn't really matter which god they used to pray in, because there were many gods that they used to pray to. So yeah, I won't go into much detail of the names of the gods that they used to pray. So basically, my what I'm trying to imply is that those people had a certain way of doing things. They had a certain order of events that they needed to follow. They knew that, okay, let's say I'm gonna go to war and I want to win the war. First thing of all, we're gonna pray to a god and maybe make a sacrifice, um, or make a ceremony, things like that. So uh, as time goes, that was always the way of doing things. So those people, they knew that, okay, we have a god that we pray to, so the god will tell us everything that we need to do, and we will do things in a way that our god answers. So basically, in that era, those people were influenced by gods. Those are the things that mainly influence them. And today, when we see things, we still have gods that influence us, but not really in a big scope, like what they used to experience, because they didn't have things like cell phones, technology, all those things, laptops, iPads, where every time when you need information, you would look onto that. Whether you are bored, you just open your phone, you go on WhatsApp, you go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, those kind of things. They didn't have all those things, so all they knew, most of them, the books that they read, they were Bibles, reading about their gods, reading about the paradise that they will go to when they're dead. So everything that they did, it was to please their gods and to make their gods happy. So those were the major influence. So basically, that was their comfort zone. So let's talk about our comfort zone. So basically, as I said, we have so many things that influence us, such as we always have our cell phones. We have a lot of things besides cell phones. You know, all the technologies that we have today, where you can get information. So basically, our decisions, they are not really based on our judgment. Most of our decisions that we take, they are based on other people or based on what other people did. So if someone does something and starts something and becomes successful, so we ultimately think that we should do things in that way so that we can also be successful. So basically, we also have this comfort of looking for advice in the wrong place. When we want some advice, it's either we go on YouTube, whether we listen to celebrities, and we forget that those people ultimately, they're just human beings. So I'm not saying when you want advice, you should go and look advice from a certain god. That's not what I'm implying. Basically, I'm just saying we need to leave our comfort zone, so we need to be able to think on our own. So okay, this is just the question that I asked myself when I was sleeping. So I asked myself, why do we have a certain way of doing things and have certain things that we are made to believe that it is how it is supposed to be, and what made us to believe that okay, that's the normal way of doing things and that's the normal way of thinking. So basically, we need to learn to think outside the box and to do things differently. And always when we take a decision about things, we need to think more critically. So basically, I just want you to be able to explore a lot of things and explore this life. There's so much things that we can do as a nation. I want you to have your own mindset and your own opinions, not opinions which are influenced by people and not opinions that are influenced by celebrities, because anyone who wants to be famous, anyone can just pick a camera and take a video and say whatever that they want, and that may not be entirely true. So I think today, why a lot of us don't know who we are and we're always confused is that we're always thinking, not really thinking, like taking opinions from people. A lot of us working today, we're just an empty shell. We don't really have our own opinions. So I'm saying that whatever that you have in your mind and whatever that you think is how you need to do things, do it that way, but also you need to think about how those decisions are gonna affect you. So basically, I'm just saying, don't have a comfort zone. If you have an idea of starting something, you need to start it today, no matter how difficult it is. Basically, we always have a fear of doing things, and fear will always be there. That one, we can't run away from it. Even me, like right now, just standing here talking to you, even though I'm alone where I am and taking this video, there's always the fear of the next person who's gonna view this video and how they're gonna take the information that I said, and also the fear of knowing what they're gonna comment back, whether it's positive feedback or negative feedback. Basically, I'm saying we shouldn't have a comfort way of thinking, not only in terms of decisions and our way of solving problems, whether it's relationship, whether it's at home, whether it's at work. We need to have a different way of thinking. We need to think outside the box and know that okay, this is not how things are supposed to be, this is not how things are supposed to be done. So basically, we shouldn't take information from elsewhere. We should learn to believe in ourselves and leave the comfort zone so that we can become better people in the future, and ultimately we can grow. So I'm saying that we need to go out there and do things in a different way. So if normally when people tell you things, you start to, whether you are in an argument, for example, you start to overreact, then you start an argument and you end up fighting people, then you should ask yourself, like, why do I react this way? Like, what other action can I take when I'm faced with this thing? There's so many things that you can do, whether it's to walk away from the argument, or quote valuable points that make sense instead of overreacting. Because based on that, there's so many people that I've met in the past who always tell me that there's this thing called a high temper. Basically, that's a person that overreacts to anything. So basically, they say they get angry faster. So basically, what they're trying to say is that they have anger problems. So I find that not to be true. Like, whatever that we tell ourselves, that's what we ultimately believe that is the truth. Cause for me, when I was very young, I used to overreact to almost anything. So whatever problems that I had, instead of solving them, trying to run away from that problem, I would overreact. So basically, that's what I used to say. I have a temper. So I would say I have a very high temper. Like I get provoked easily. I'll just get angry instead of finding solutions. So while I was still young, I was able to address that problem. I asked myself, why when I'm faced with such problems and such situations, why do I behave in this way? Like, is there something wrong with me? And the answer what I found is that I just needed to change the way that I think and change my perspectives about things. Yeah, sorry about that. English is a very difficult language. It's actually my second language. Yeah, it's not really my first language. So yeah, let's throw that away. So basically, I needed to change my perspectives about things and how I see things, and ultimately that changed how I behave and the kind of person that I want to be today and also in the future. And ultimately, I'm able to solve problems in a different way because I was able to leave my comfort zone. So basically, that's all I'm saying, that let's leave our comfort zone and explore other things and explore different ways of doing things, different ways of solving problems, different way of talking to people, and also we ultimately will meet different people. So that's what I'm saying. So good luck on that, and that's what I wanted to share today.